Crit status active. Orbital status standby.
What is up, Guardians? This is Cosmodrome Radio, broadcasting on all frequencies all the way from here to the moon and farther. We are broadcasting for all
now.
And who?
Neptune. What? We're going to Neptune.
We did Neptune last week. But like we try to change it up that way we can like we on all frequencies, because there's that scene from when we first started Shadowkeep where like Zaval was like broadcasting on all frequencies. Like that's what I'm mimicking. Like you didn't get that?
Wait, do we have to restart now?
No, we're not restarting. But no, well, we just kind of like gave up a little bit of the podcast as meta joke, but like it's fine. But whatever. But no, this is Cosmodrome Radio, the Destiny 2 podcast. We do this show every week for you folks. That way you get our opinions and news and all about that, the good stuff about the Destiny 2 franchise. My name is Panda the Paladin. To my left, we have the amazing hunter that slaves away in the raids in things, who loves Deepstone more than anyone else that I know. We have Prismatic Liches. How you doing?
I'm good. I like Deepstone despite getting stuck at Atrax for 8 hours on day one. So we've made up.
Everybody else, don't blame yourself.
And it was so funny too, because like being told that on Tuesday, we just went Thunder Crash and just ruined Atrax, and it was the funniest shit ever.
Oh, we did that. We did the thing where we got a stat. We didn't stagger.
We actually did copies the correct way, because at first people weren't hitting their Thunder Crashes correctly, and Grengar didn't know how to be scanner downstairs. But we figured it out. It's fine. Shout out to Grengar. Shout out to the freaking Sentinel Naughty clan. That's our clan right there. If you ever need a clan to raid with, please let us know. We have the links in our link trees on TikTok and Twitter, so please make sure you follow, check that out. We'll get to all the socials in a second. To my right, we have my other fellow Titan, who is very salty about Iron Banner, which we will get to.
Yeah, Iron Banner. Iron Banner is. I don't like this iteration of Iron Banner at all.
How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
I thought you were sad because the Rams lost.
Well, yeah. I'm sad, but I'm getting to talk about Destiny 2, so I'm happy.
Okay, fair enough. All right, but don't forget that you can follow the podcast on Twitter at Cosmodrome Radio. You can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon and Audible, all those great places. You can rate and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That way more people can find us. A good chunk of our audience is listening to us on Spotify, so shout out to y'all on Spotify. And just make sure you send us questions. We want to answer y'all's questions and get feedback from y'all about how we can make the show better, or just tell you stuff about the game. So let us know what you want to know about. All right. So Iron Banner is the first topic because it did go live Tuesday. And I gotta say, man, Bungie really messed up, because, and we even talked about it previously when the TWAB wasn't buried the script the way it was supposed to be. Because in the same TWAB, they said, we realized we messed up by putting a brand new mode into Iron Banner without testing. Then they go, so we're putting a new mode in Iron Banner anyway. And I'm just like, what? I don't understand what the thought process was here. But
I'm looking for that specific TWAB, not the... I think it was this one.
It was very strange how they went about it, where it was they admitted they were wrong, and then they still did it anyway. And I'm just like, what was the thought process here? Because Iron Banner consistently for so many seasons was just control, but better. And now they're like, we're going to keep changing it up. And it's like, do we need to do that? Because now it's just clash with multipliers and crap to make it a weird mix of clash and mayhem. And it's I will admit, after spending about, I think, 10 plus hours in Iron Banner this week already, because I'm trying to guild my Iron Lord seal, it is very one-sided. And especially because of the fact that it isn't affected by the new skill-based matchmaking, it can get really one-sided really fast. Especially if you have people who have no idea what they're doing, it can be bad.
And I found what you were looking for.
Can you link it in the chat?
Yeah, it's 1 second.
Because that way I can pull it up.
It's from the TWAB from August 4th. For those of you listening.
Oh, if this is the August 4th TWAB, I'll pull it up right here. But it was just very weird how they went about that.
What Bungie said. We're excited to get Eruption in everyone's hands. We hope it continues to illustrate our desire to bring new and unique experiences to Crucible and Iron Banner. One thing we learned with Rift in this current season is if we have a brand new mode like the recent iteration of Rift, introducing it to everyone in a high-focus environment, first highlights inevitable issues that any multiplayer game has. Instead, we're going to be moving forward with the zone control plan, introducing as a low-pressure Crucible Labs to make sure it performs as intended in a real-world setting. Then and only then, we will bring the new mode into Iron Banner, albeit with a unique twist.
So they ignored literally what they said.
We will definitely come back to Control and Rift for Iron Banner in the future, but expect a familiar mode with unique experience in Season 19. So where's the...
So they literally just ignored what they said in the TWAB and said, screw it, we're doing Eruption anyway. That's what I read from that. Because they literally go, we messed up, but we're going to do it anyway.
So, Prismatic? I thought you had said something.
Oh, I just emphasized the butt.
But no, so like, I'll admit, the mode is more fun than Rift was. It doesn't feel like it's one of those modes where if no one understands what's going on, they're just screwed, because it's just Clash. It's just team deathmatch in Destiny. But like, if you get a streak of kills, you get bonuses, like you get increased super energy and ability regen. So like, it's a cool idea, but it really feels like if you go up against a team, like especially if you go like take two of your friends and go into main Iron Banner and you jump and put up against a 6-stack, you're screwed. Like, you're done. There's no way to combat that. You're just done. Your best chance, if you're a solo player, is to go into freelance and pray. Like, in freelance, that's the best place you could go.
Going back through old TWABs trying to find more stuff, I got to the August 18th one. And when they're talking about stuff that's going on during the season, both weeks will feature the new Eruption mode. Now, that wasn't there before.
Well, no, like that was said in that TWAB, but the August 4th TWAB specifically says, we've learned from our mistake, so look for these new modes coming later, and they'll be in Crucible Labs. That's what I really want to get some insight of, like, what made them change, what made them basically do an oxymoron of, we're not going to do this anymore, but we're going to do it anyway, is where I really have a problem with.
I think I had also mentioned in one of the previous episodes that when they said they'll be featured, we wondered if maybe they would be like a rotation or like an Iron Banner lab where it wasn't the forced main version of the game. Like maybe it was going to be an option and we were going to get regular control back or something.
That would have made so much more sense. And honestly, I've talked about it before. Actually, before I get into that, I want to hear your opinion of Eruption, because I honestly like it. It's just Clash with stupid crap, so like I can tolerate it and roll with it. But I want to get how you're feeling.
I don't like it. I just feel like I'm rolling back into Rift. Either you do the steamrolling or you get steamrolled. There's no in between. There's no way to come back unless you get kills, and it doesn't feel like that there's an objective I can chase after other than getting kills. Rift, it was sort of the same thing. Yes, you had the objective of dunking the Rift, but that was about... I like Control because it's like I can go fight for those points. I can put my life on the line for that and at least contribute in some way.
Right. And
with
the thing
Flash,
about that,
it feels like I have to keep getting kills and keep getting kills. As someone that's not good in a PvP area, and I struggle with it, and I'm getting better, but it's harder for me. And and I want to get weapons from Iron Banner, I have to go play Iron Banner.
Yep.
And it just sucks.
And like, I think the biggest issue with it overall is that if you have a streak of kills, the multiplier for the hunt when you have like 5 kills is nuts. If you keep stacking kills once you're on the hunt, the multiplier of points you get, you can go from having like a 20 to 20 point balance to then going from 20 to 80 in like a few seconds. It was very strange to watch as you would have teams would just bust in like PvP sweats who would go off the wall having like a 10k or like a 10 kill streak, and just the point value would skyrocket. But then every once in a while when that person would die, the team who killed him would get like a huge bonus. And that would be cool to see. So like a Hail Mary, you get a huge bonus to come back. But I agree with Toll that after a certain point, there's no way to come back from that. Versus with Iron Banner Control, there was like if you held those zones, but like there was a team being dicks and just wanted to like fight you off of kills like it was Clash, you could still outplay them by holding the zones. That's what made Iron Banner compelling as a competitive mode, because it told you to stop treating Control like team deathmatch and actually fight for the hunt, fight for the ability to get more points. So it was very
like it
odd.
Combined both Clash and Control in a very unique way, where it's like if you held all 3 points, now it's turned into Clash.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can go out and get your kills.
So it's just, I will say this was fun, but like Bungie, y'all need to stop. Like, and like there's a little bit of a lore reason to it too, where like they're saying Keitel has ideas to throw it at Saladin for Iron Banner, but is that a viable really reason? If anything, what you should do as the compromise to that of Keitel wants more Iron Banner, do the drastic swap of saying, hey, we're gonna take trials and make that be the 2 times a season thing, and make Iron Banner be the more prominent thing every weekend, and then roll out a whole slew of new Iron Banner weapons. Like, get rid of every Iron Banner weapon that's in there right now. Because, fun fact, other than Reese Walker and maybe the fusion rifle and the hand cannon, because the hand cannon got a buff, there's no reason to play Iron Banner right now. Like, the new sidearm isn't that good.
I will touch on that in a bit.
Like, the sidearm isn't that great, because for the first time, Iron Reach isn't good on a weapon because the stability is tanked. And what the rocket launcher that just came back isn't that great compared to other rocket launchers. Well, granted, it can't descent, which is kind of cool.
It's
but
funny.
Like,
it's really funny.
But like, other than that, like, no one's gonna use it long term. And then there's the pulse rifle, which you would think would be good, but the perk pool is god awful.
There are better. On top of that, even if the perk pool was good, there are still better pulse rifles out there.
Right.
I know some people don't like crafting, but Insidious, that's better.
Battler just became craftable, which is one of the best pulse rifles in the game. So it's like, they really kind of messed up.
I will say this, though. The Hero's Burden SMG, I am a fan of. For PvE.
Yeah, for PvE, it's really good. For PvP, it's kind of meh. But like, in general, I feel like if they wanted to make a splash with Keitel taking over Iron Banner and helping Saladin, you should have went back to basics, changed everything, and make it every weekend. Every weekend, new weapons. That's the new competitive mode. That would make a bigger splash, because you had an entire expansion of your base game for Iron Banner, for the Iron Lords. Why isn't that the primary focus? Granted, I love Osiris. I love Save 14. They're my favorite characters in the fucking game next to Saladin. But I really feel like Iron Banner should be the thing we focus on more. That's my controversial.
That's your hot take.
That's my hot take. Honestly, though, because like because Iron Banner feels like a tradition, a thing that like the original protectors of Earth did as a contest. Why isn't that the thing we focus on? Especially when Bungie actively took away Iron Banner weeks. They took us from like what 4 or something like that, or 6 or something like that to 2.
Cut it in half.
Yeah, from 4 to 2, and I'm like, why? Especially when you go ahead, so.
The only point to cheat play Iron Banner is to seal and get like a few weapon rolls. Like,
and especially especially when you made the focusing of the weapons 100 legendary shards. That's expensive.
Like at this point, I'm thinking about just trying to save iron engrams.
Mm-hmm. Wait for new guns.
Wait till next Iron Banner, save up legendary shards, and then just go spend them.
Honestly. Because it's just kind of ridiculous, to be honest.
Finish my seal, and then...
my seal's going to be gilded tomorrow.
I can't
Prismatic, any thoughts?
I can't believe I'm going to be the dissenting voice on this. I'm actually enjoying Iron Banner as it is Eruption. Because I remember saying, if you go on a 5 kill streak, you become primed and all this, like, you get all these buffs, but you also have to get kills and explode. And I was like, ha! That's not going to be me. I never go on 5 kill streaks. I went in the other night with some wonderful people I met off of LFG, and I was primed at least 3 times. Mm-hmm. Which, of course, I hear the sound and I see it and I'm like, excuse me, what? What do you mean? Because
it catches you off guard.
Yeah, but then the only problem becomes is like then the whole other team knows that you're primed and they tend to run away. So I just I'm running and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm fucking watching me go off like a firework right now because I'm gone. So I've been enjoying it. I would rather eat my own foot than ever go back to Rift.
Honestly, same. I would rather...
I'm sorry, that's just so funny.
I'd rather just... Yeah, I'd rather eat my own foot than go back to Rift. Rift sucks, and I never want to touch it again.
See, okay. The reason why I was okay with Rift is the same reason why I enjoyed original Control Iron Banner, is because it forces you to play the objective. People just go brain dead in things like Clash or Team Deathmatch or even Trials when they have to just shoot. If you have an objective, it forces you to play differently. So especially when Capture Weekend is a thing for Trials, I get excited because it forces people to play strategically and not just blitz, hold W key, as the keyboard players would say, and just go forward and try to get a kill. You have to think. So that's why I hear the complaints of Rift because in just freelance, no one knew what the frick was going on. But I liked it because it forced people to do the job. Because especially when it was funny when you would do Rift and then your kills weren't on screen, it was what you accomplished in the Rift. I enjoyed that.
But Iron Banner was supposed to be about the best of the best, being the toughest of the toughest to beat, going out and being the badasses that they were. That's why with Control Iron Banner, I would go first Iron Banner of the season. I would grab all of my bounties, go do everything I needed to do, and not step foot back in it again. Because I knew by the next time the second or third one came around, everybody would be power leveled up way more than I could ever hope or dream to be. And they'd have all these god rolls, and I'm just going to get, I will be the mop that they use to clean the floor with. But I could always count on that first Iron Banner of the season having a fucking hope of a chance to actually get things done. That's why I personally liked Eruption, because I think that there is a goal to play towards. Your whole goal is to become primed and get that get those bonuses and get the points for your team and win it. I do kind of miss having the power level be a thing where
we'll talk about
that mattered, but I don't see Eruption as just the brain dead kill things. For me, that is what you're doing. You're going in and killing as many people as you can, which, is the point of Crucible anyway. but you're playing to try to get that streak to win it for your team, whereas Rift.
I think the difference between Eruption and Rift is the spawn timer.
Yeah,
the
I will
spawn
give you
timer
that.
is, I think, listening to Prismatic talk about everything, it's like, yeah, no, I think it's like it's the respawn timer. It just felt like you couldn't get back into the action. You couldn't get back, and you're just stuck there.
They left you there for so long for no
Even
reason.
after they changed it, it's just like, if you would let us come back after like instant respawn, or like 3 seconds, like the normal Crucible respawn timer, it would have fixed everything, because then it gives you a fighting chance.
Right. And then Prismatic brought up a really good point. The power level.
Yeah.
That is a problem. And Bungie, I know you had a purpose behind sunsetting, but if you're not gonna stick to your gun, like stick to your guns, ironically enough, like stick to your word about sunsetting, then just unsunset everything and deal with the backlash of people having deleted roles. This whole light level doesn't matter thing has led to the continuation of people just bringing in sunsetted weapons into the game mode, or people who haven't played. Oh, go ahead, Dole.
I literally was running around with Mountaintop.
Yeah.
Just having
like, I kept running Criminal's Daggers, or like Luna's Howls kept hitting me.
Revoker. We had a teammate that was using that, having a blast.
And it's just like, you see these guns that have been retired by Bungie in the mode that is supposed to be the best of the best, the lords of the Destiny franchise, just doing whatever they want. And it's just like, well, like I understand, but the reason why they said we're taking away power level was because we want to make it more accessible for like everybody, but that's not what Iron Banner was. If you wanted to get your pinnacles, you did your pinnacles in the regular mode, and then when you were high enough light base, then you could do Iron Banner and grind the rest of your pinnacles there. Iron Banner is supposed to be the sweaty 6v6 mode, the same way Trials is the sweaty 3v3 mode. But now we have the situation where the sweats are coming out with sunsetted weapons and doing whatever they want. And it's just like, why, Bungie? Why did you do this if we're just gonna keep doing this song and dance? A power level doesn't matter. Granted, there's been discussion of they want to get rid of power level and change that whole system. And this could be a step towards that, but I don't think this is the right thing you need to be doing.
Honestly, they probably should just get rid of power level. We'll talk about that another week, but the grind feels just so incessant. It's just, oh, I get the fucking 1570. Oh, time to go to 1580, and I don't care.
Honestly, I don't mind the grind that much. This was the first season that I did the whole bounty prep thing. Granted, recently I went back to D1 just to dick around and have fun, and seeing how high our light is compared to D1 is kind of nutty. But it does feel like what's gonna happen when we hit like 3,000? Like, are we gonna get to that point, or are we gonna have a change? It's just, you're using this gap in power level to buy time until the next season where you push people down again. Granted, there was people last season who did so much past the season pass. They were level 1600 light level. 1600 when the light cap was fit, when the hard cap for your seasonal armor was 1570. So that means they not only finished their season pass, they played the game so much and did so much bounty grinding that they were 1600. That is ridiculous. So it's like that's that much going on. So the light level is weird. But in general, I just feel like Bungie either needs to bite the bullet and take the beating from the community of removing the sunsetted cap on weapons, or they need to just put Iron Banner back the way it was and make light level be a thing. Because there's people who were 1340 running around Crucible today in Iron Banner. There was people who were like 14 something. And I'm like, bro, you're able to fight me because Bungie has taken away this rule. If Iron Banner was the way it was before, you'd be getting question marks from hitting me.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
That was something I used to laugh at. I'd have people come back to play the game I hadn't played in forever, and they're like, "You want to play Iron Banner?" I'm like, "You shouldn't want to play Iron Banner."
Right.
Or do you have a secret interest that we need to discuss? Like, it's just bad.
It was so bizarre. So I don't know. It was really odd to see people just not like give a crap and for Bungie to drastically change things. I will admit I had fun this week with Eruption. There were some fun times where I would just like pull up and just have like multiple supers after just chains of kills. But then there would just be games where my teammates weren't that good and I'm over here carrying in Iron Banner with like 30 plus kills, but the other team has like 20 across the board. So it just that kind of sucks.
I have a coworker that works at a different store that plays this game, and we were talking about Iron Banner, and I had asked her, "Hey, have you gone into it yet?" And she goes, "No, but I see that you lost last night." She went on to the Bungie.com and looked at my activities, and the first thing she saw was the last Iron Banner match I had played the night before. I got off after I had lost because it was already really late in the evening, and I was like, "Oh Lord, I know what map that was on." Like, I had been doing so good, and then we got to the Titan map, and I just got my ass handed to me by this opposite team that they were just running around team shooting everybody. Like, I was on a roll before that. Why couldn't you have seen those matches? Why'd you have to see the one where I lost? I had a 0.3. That's how bad that game was for me.
That's normal. That's my normal KD.
Bro, I've been mentioning 1.0 like top all week. It's been kind of fun.
I'm sitting at a 0.93.
Like, my goal is always to be like try to go positive, but that game was so bad. My
goal is just to get more than 5 kills.
Hey, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Right.
I earned my revoker one bullet at a time. I would run out of special ammo and be like, "All right, kill me. I need some more. Kill me. I'll respawn with 2 shots. That's all I need."
That's funny. So from there, we want to talk about Arc.
Can I do the TWAB really quick? Go over like the little.
I mean, yeah, sure. The TWAB was like super short, so sure.
There's only one big important thing in the TWAB, and that's doing your weekly dares. Pinnacle guarantees you a red border until you have gotten every single weapon crafted.
Probably because they realized the red borders were starting to get really hard to do with dares, and dares can get very repetitive, so people didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I've barely been playing dares, and it's like I got a few, but it's like I want to get a battler, and I want to get the grenade launcher.
Honestly, I want the battler crafted, I want the wastelander crafted, and I want the grenade launcher crafted because that can be a blinding day GL and it'll be kind of fun.
And I also want to get another half, but
I've already crafted the other half. It was so funny too because I was sitting on a treasure key and I just went to the Xur's treasure hoard randomly and I put the key in the chest and it gave me a red border other half and I was like, okay. And because of the other half being so hard to get, originally in Dares of Eternity, they just made the crafting requirement 1 red border, so I was able to just craft another half. But it was so funny.
I have 2 red borders for the other sword.
That's cool.
It's like I already got my Eager Edge one. I don't need more red borders. I just want other half so I can craft it. That's all I want. Please, Bungo.
Totally valid.
I mean, I'm finally almost finished crafting everything from last season. Everybody's going to be mad at me when I say the last weapon I have to craft is the Beloved.
Well, you're not really a sniper person. Nope. So that's not your fault. Like, I got that shit that was the first red border I crafted. Because, man, do I love me some sniping. Like, snipers and shotguns are like my favorite thing in all of video games.
Season, the first red border I did was the Callus mini tool. Because I got one with incandescent, and I was just rocking out with it, and I was having a blast. I'm like, I gotta craft this.
Which is valid. It is a really fun gun, so I won't blame you for that.
But this season's weapons, it just feels like there's only a few I want to chase after. Like, I don't.
I'm gonna say we're gonna talk about that when we get to the season talk after Arc 3.0, because like I have some opinions on that, and there's been a lot of talk about those because man, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I'd rather go chase the raid weapons.
We'll get to that. So Arc 3.0. Now that we've had a couple weeks, and now that Bungie has fixed resilience for warlocks and titans, we've had some time to like actually sit down and enjoy the thing. And I will admit, there isn't as many fragments that I feel need to be attached to my Titan. So like Spark of Resistance, always a requirement. That thing is great. I hate that it dings your resilience in favor of giving you resistance, but I can compensate for that. But otherwise, none of the other, like, everything with Arc 3.0 feels very PvP heavy other than the Hunter Super. And like, I think that's fair to say. Like, they very much want Arc to be a PvP thing when it should be a PvP and PvE thing.
I agree
with that. And I don't know why they focus so hard.
A lot of the Hunter Arc fragments are very skewed PvP.
Yeah. Like, it just, I don't understand what that thought process of was. Like, because even in the preview of Arc 3.0, they were like, we want the Titan to be the freight train that punches you in the face. We want the Hunter to be the monk of like D&D, to be the stylish warrior, and like the Warlock to be the electrician person like freaking Palpatine in Star Wars. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but what benefit does it have in PvE? Because you left Thunder Crash alone. You did the one thing everyone wanted you to do was leave Thunder Crash alone. And you gave Hunters a new super. You didn't buff Chaos Reach at all to make it worth using in PvE again. And it's just like, other than that, there's nothing new for PvE. Everything feels very PvP heavy. And that's cool, but there should have been just as much PvE stuff for Arc 3.0 as PvP. I don't get it.
I mean,
thoughts?
I kind of get it if they're wanting the Arc to be the super speedy, live fucking, I guess monk is a good description. Like, if that's what they're wanting Arc to be, apparently that's what Arc has always been for Hunter, but I never played my Arc strike. Halo reports to me that that's what, like, because she went from using Khepri Sting and being a void to using Arc Strider and being just as scary. But I never played with it. So, I mean, if that's where they're trying to come from, like, that's, Freight Train and Monk and Palpatine. I see it, I get it, but I mean, excuse me, I don't really care for PvP heavy stuff because PvP is not my main. I am mostly PvE, but there was also a lot of complaints in the community that Destiny doesn't care about their PvP community. So I'm sure
we need to do an episode about that at some point.
I'm sure you could make the PvP geared fragments work, because technically a lot of them say like enemy, not necessarily other Guardian. But I mean,
right.
Let's be honest, you're not really looking to be super speedy in PvE activities typically.
Right.
And if you are, you can just get yourself to be amplified and then run for a couple seconds and become speed. Like,
pretty much, honestly. And like the blinding effect is nice for PvE, especially for like GLs, but I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it for PvE.
So I will say this. I love the Touch of Thunder aspect. I think it's one of my favorite aspects in the game right now, because it's just like Titans can do cool stuff with grenades now. Like the Lightning Storm grenade is fantastic for just chuck it. All right, dead ads. I mean, it's nice. And then you throw on not Juggernaut, but you throw on the other aspect.
Knockout.
You throw on Knockout, and now you can just walk up and start punching things. And I like that.
Yeah, because Knockout basically just gives you Doom Marchers without having Doom Marchers, and it's just kind of convenient.
It's Arc Bonk. It's Arc. I like.
It's
that.
not really Arc Bonk. It literally is just. It literally is just Dune Marcher's effect of chain lightning over and over again without the pants. It's like they gave you pants without pants.
Arc Punch turns your unpowered melee into like a basic. It's like the Roaring Flames effect.
Yeah.
Which I really like that because it lets me be versatile. I will say this for PvP though. Running Juggernaut and Knockout at the same time
is so much fun.
Because you could get amplified really quick and just start knocking Peak Guardians out.
And what's really satisfying is that like Juggernaut can eat sniper bullets, so you can like run out and actually like pull up on somebody.
It can eat a fucking golden gun shot.
It can eat a golden gun shot. It can eat a sniper bullet. It can eat a freaking main ingredient shot. It can eat a lot. It's like Antaeus Wards, basically. It does everything Antaeus Wards can do, and it's great. I love it. So it's just that's cool, but they found the perfect medium of balance when it came to PvE and PvP. There could have been more PvE for Titans at least. With Solar 3.0, but at least you could say with Solar 3.0, there was a balance met where you saw PvE buffs and PvP buffs. But I still think they did Titans dirty with Solar 3.0, but that's just me. Void 3.0 seems to be the one that baked in the kitchen the longest. That's just me, because like they hyped it up from jump and told us Void 3.0 was coming first. It feels like Void 3.0 was the one that baked in the oven the longest.
Yes? I don't know. I think they did quite a bit for like Void 3.0, but maybe it's just.
But again, I think they're trying to go towards every class being like you is specifically to like it has a subclass that is specifically really good for them, and other subclasses that are all right but not as good as the others.
Okay, I can see that. Because Void Titans are amazing.
I was gonna say Void Hunters.
Oh, okay.
Void Hunter's fun. But obviously, I also really enjoyed Solar. I never got a really great Solar build together for any of my characters, but I know like I've watched people just make insane Ignition builds.
Yup.
I'm a fan of Solar Warlock and just being able to toss as many grenades out as possible.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I will admit that. Just fusion grenade
there's
everything.
So many good grenade builds for Solar Warlock, and like, oh, you want a fusion grenade? Okay, cool. You want a solar grenade? Great.
Yeah.
And Arc, once there's more time to play with Arc, like, and people actually get to deep dive, and maybe some exotics actually come into their own. Looking at you, Eternal Warrior. It's like
Eternal Warrior got nothing.
I know. That's why I'm looking at it, because come on, do something.
Right, like we're poking it with a stick, like do something. Like that was the one thing we requested from Arc 3.0 was give Eternal Warrior something beyond give it an overshield when you first pop your super. But like they didn't do anything with it. And it just
Warlock's got that new helmet with Psionic traces. And it from what I've seen and heard, it's fantastic, especially with the new fusion rifle. Hunter's got that really nice chest plate.
And yo, can I talk about that chest plate for a second?
Go off.
Bungie, we need to have a conversation. Y'all legit went, hey, so we hear your complaints about Omnioculus in PvP and people using Lord of Wolves in PvP in combination, to the point that we're not just going to nerf Omnioculus, because Omnioculus obviously is the problem and not Lord of Wolves. We're going to nerf Lord of Wolves for the fourth time, and I'll die on that hill. That was the problem. But we're going to do all of that, and then we're going to give hunters a new Void exotic that doubles your damage when you exit your invis. What? You
It just... And then point, cannon, contact, cannon, brace, whatever the... Point, break, cannon, whatever the fuck the Titan one's called. Because it's got such a long name.
I have no idea. Is Panda still talking? Because I can't hear him.
I don't like that exotic. It just... They disabled it. Panda and I got to try it out for a little bit, and it felt good with fucking Thunderclap. It felt really good. And then it disabled again, and it just... I was testing out in PvE, and it barely does any damage to regular red bars.
Well, because we figured out that the reason why they disabled it was because like it randomly just came back online when me and him went into a private match, and we tried it out. Even through Laurelie's Splendor Helm's recovery, you can one-shot with... Well, you could one-shot with it, because there would be the initial charge... Even if you didn't fully charge, the Thunderclap would do a little bit of damage. And then the extra lightning strike that would come from the exotic would one-shot you. So my theory is that's why they disabled it. But that would have been a reason to make an exotic. Not just go, hey, the lightning strike can do like a quarter of their health bar. Because the exotic feels like it doesn't do anything. If you just gave Titans a new one-shot thing, similar to like Paragon Greaves, great, cool. Because at the same time, it still goes with the thing of you still have to charge it or at least hit the Thunderclap, because that Thunderclap is hard to hit sometimes, even if you don't charge it.
The cone range, it's such a short cone, and like it's not even that wide either. It's just you have to be on point with it, and you're trapped in that animation. And
so like there's no reason to use it.
Your melee.
There's no reason to use that exotic. It's the same thing with the second chance arms we got with Witch Queen, or last season rather, where they don't do their job. They said, hey, we're going to give you a pair of arms that make your shield throw stun champions, so or like stun anti-barrier champions. It takes both of your shield throws to stun the champion. That's stupid. What's the point of having two shield throws if one of the shield throws can't do the job? Like,
on top of that,
especially there's multiple champions in the room.
The last chance was ugly.
I don't know. Second chance, it was kind of cool looking. Like, it was cool looking.
I will say this.
Yeah.
The one they just put out is great. It looks so good. I love it. Too bad
but they didn't do anything with it.
If they had made it so it worked with every arc melee, that would have been cool. Because now it's like, okay, I can rock this with my shoulder charge and kind of play off of that. No, I have to use the specific melee for it, and now it's going to collect dust in my vault.
I mean, I don't mind that it only works with the Thunder Crash, because with Thunderclap, that's what I'm saying. Like, Paragon Greaves work with shoulder charges to give you a one-shot. The Point Break Cannon Brace should have been able to give you a one-shot at any level of the charge, but like in exchange, it shortens the cone if they made the cone bigger overall. Like, that would be a penalty. But instead, we have an exotic, like Toll said, that just collects dust, and it doesn't make sense to me. Now, with hunters get to keep doing what they do. They said, we're going to take away one of your toys and give you a brand new toy that basically does the same thing. And it's like, what? where was the thought process here? So, like, Warlock's got a great exotic with this new helmet. I love it. It's so cool. But Titans got diddly, man. Like, yeah, we got did dirty twice. They said, here's Laurelie, here's a crap pair of arms, and here's a crap pair of arms. And it feels kind of bad, bro.
3 seasons, we've only gotten one good exotic.
Aww.
That's kind of bad.
Oh, I feel so bad for the Titan.
Can't get your ship out.
Okay. You got something to say? Speak on it.
Oh, no, it's fine. We're suddenly becoming relevant, kind of, sort of. But you guys are complaining.
What you mean relevant, kind of, sort of? You're always relevant in PvP. What do you mean?
I'm not talking about
PvP. You guys got Caliban Pan last
again,
You did take the L.
I can't speak on the things I don't have.
Light Ranger helm.
That's
but no, I'm talking about
the Light Ranger helm.
I'm talking about like in PvE. Like, hunters haven't really been relevant or necessary for raids for a while. We used to be either like,
which is cool. They gave you a new super.
Yeah, which is great. But
hunters are always relevant in raids. I was dying.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Like, there's been so many times where hunters have been kicked from raids because other than Shadow Shot,
or Celestial,
even then, Shadow or is one of those things where because Shadow Shot would be over trumped by Div because Div does more debuff to an enemy, and Celestial prior to Solar 3.0 didn't really do a whole lot of damage. So like hunters saw a big uprise of just being kicked from LFGs for raids.
Do you know how disheartening it is to join a group excited to do something and they're like, "Oh, what character are you running?" And you say hunter, they're like, "Oh." Like, great, thanks. Love that. Love that for me.
Yeah, because like legitimately, y'all didn't really have anything, but now because they buffed Tether to actually be an alternative to like Div in the event that like an enemy like War Priest keeps moving around like a crackhead, you can use Tether instead. Blade Barrage and Golden Gun have gotten buffs to be up near Thunder Crash. And now the new super you guys have does about the same thing that Blade Barrage and Thunder Crash does. So you have options now versus before. Y'all didn't have none.
Yeah, I'm just giggling about the fact that we were irrelevant for so long that like
all y'all did was play PvP and jump.
That's what other people did. I spent my time in PvE. You can look at my triumph score.
That's valid.
I will say, Fist of Havoc feels nice.
I disagree.
Really?
Because sometimes the AOE from the heavy attack isn't consistent, and also the tracking on the light attack isn't consistent either. Because similar to a shoulder charge, if somebody just jumps, you ain't hitting nothing. If you bounce off of somebody's like hitbox, and it is sad. So like the AoE should be a little bit bigger or do more damage because so people will just move away from you. And then also what's been happening a lot this week in Iron Banner is that if you're running Fist of Havoc, somebody can jump over you and then Thunder Crash you and you just die. So like it's annoying. That's just not great. But like also Bungie, we talked about this. If somebody is if somebody is shoulder charging you and they hit you, you should not be able to pull a trigger on your gun. You should not be able to shotgun them. You should not be able to fusion rifle them at all because this is my controversial opinion. If you get hit by like a melee of some sort, like a throwing knife or a shoulder charge or anything like that, your holding of your trigger for your fusion shot should be canceled, almost like you pulled off the trigger in real life. Because if you get forced backwards by an attack, you don't keep holding the trigger down. There's been multiple times this week where I've tried to shoulder charge somebody and I still hear their main ingredient charging and I die. It's like, what? How does that make sense? You know what I mean, Vern?
Mm-hmm. Like the flinch. The flinch should actually flinch.
Yeah, like there's yes, a flinch should actually. You said it right there. A flinch should actually flinch.
I do like the blinding though.
The blinding is a lot of fun. The blinding is a lot of fun.
Touch of Thunder with a flashbang, because when you throw it with Touch of Thunder, when you throw the flashbang on the first bounce, it does like a blinding pulse. So you can get someone, blind them, reposition, and then they'll get blinded again for a long time. So you can kind of just run up and hit them in the face with the shotgun.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's really nice.
But you know, Prince, is there anything else you want to say about Arc 3.0? Because we kind of went off.
Oh no, and that's deserved because you guys were broken for the first week. So
yeah, we were broken.
I will say I had a friend that I recently met, shout out to Wolfie, who was going through and helping me kind of respec my Arc Hunter to do more stuff in Crucible, and what I took some of his suggestions because I was tired and I couldn't remember everything he said the next day, but I did take some of his suggestions, and that's when I was going off in Iron Banner, and I was like, wow, look at me go. But I'm enjoying. I really like the super. That's all I can say, really. It's fun throwing it. Not so fun when you clip a corner, especially during Oryx. Or somebody decides to throw up their shield or something right in front of you, and you can't. Oh, it was the bubble. Somebody popped their bubble as I popped my super, and we were stuck inside with it.
Oh.
Yeah, no. So many times when I was playing my hunter, and I would throw the arc staff, someone would like move just in my way, and it would impale in the back of their head, and I'm just like, well, hey, at least we have some ad clear for
I did think it was funny, though. I got it into War Priest's head one time and turned him into a unicorn, and that was fun.
Oh, that's like the best part, when you get like, when you hit someone with it, and it looks, and it's
Can we
so
talk
funny.
about the hilarity of raiding with people that were at War Priest day one, and just the unfathomable amount of teabags that man gets when you kill him? There has not been a single group I have raided with that when we beat War Priest, they're just like, fuck you!
He was such a fucking DPS.
It's because they like revamped him in such a great way that he's the damage check. Like you would think Oryx would be your damage check or Golgoroth would be your damage check. Nah, it's War Priest.
So easy now.
They ramped him up to be like a challenge, and it's actually really. I'm scared for Master. I'm genuinely scared for Master War Priest.
I'm glad that they did that though, because it matches the lore. Like War Priest was, or War Priest would go kill people, so Oryx didn't have to. I think War Priest had like hundreds of planet destructions just on his own. Like it was like they actually made War Priest match his lore, so I appreciate it. Plus, I wasn't here for day one; I had to work like a chump. So,
all right,
chump.
So, the last thing we want to talk about a little bit, because like now that we're about 3 weeks in, is Season of the Plunder.
Love it.
Arr, matey.
Arr, do what you want, because a pirate is free. Because man,
a pirate is free.
Like yo, this is the palate cleanser season that I needed. Like the Tron data, because like the Tron Datascape stuff was cool during Season of the Spicer, which was kind of like a palate cleanser because like that wasn't as like it was lore heavy, but it was fun. Versus this also is the palate cleanser season where it isn't like super crazy, but like there's still lore going on in the background, and I'm really liking it because they finally did the thing that everyone thought was going to happen. Was they unfroze Aramis from Beyond Light, and it was because everyone was wondering like what are they going to do with that, like what's going to happen? And if you read the lore book of when she got unfrozen, that thing was intense.
And
it just,
by the way, she's hearing whispers now.
Yeah, she's hearing whispers of the witness, and I'm glad it's gonna definitely do some cool stuff later. So I think the season overall, the theming is great. The idea that there's pirate elixir is so cool. Spider needs to get kick rocks. I'm tired of that man's right there.
Yeah, no,
I stick by what I said earlier. I want to pick that man up out of his chair and throw him off the tower.
I want to legitimately like throw him into the freaking battle bus that freaking Bungie did as a collab and ship him
off the tower. And I'm just sitting here like, nah, B, I'm gonna call Marasov.
Bro, there's been so many memes of like, just call Marasov. Like Marasov got you, fam. Like it's fine.
She's looking for this man. No,
like just hit up Petra. Petra will come by. It'll be fine. Like no big deal.
We get to see Mommy sob again. I'm down for that.
You took it too far. You took it too far.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
I mean, Lord. I mean, granted, I called Zavala daddy. We've already crossed that line. But
I'm just calling her by her legal community name.
Oh my god. But no, like this season feels really cool. The weapons are a lot of fun.
No.
What do you mean no?
I like the shotgun, the SMG, and the pistol.
Did you get this ritual weapon?
The shotgun, the SMG, and the pistol are great. The Lanier and the machine gun are kind of crappy, I will admit. But here's the reason why the Lanier. The Lanier is only crappy because we have other Lanier fusion rifles that are better in it. Like it's not even crappy. It's just like fourth place, and it sucks to be fourth place because like it can do some cool stuff. It can even get volt shot, so you can do some fun things with it. But it sucks being fourth place when you have to be behind. Actually, it's actually fifth place because you have
they literally brought the Taipan out this season, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna give you another linear fusion rifle," and it's like,
pretty
cool.
much.
Why not do something creative and give us a legendary heavy shotgun or a legendary heavy fusion rifle?
Yeah.
Why not try and do something different?
Right. Because, like, you have the Taipan this season, you have the Reed's Regret, you have the Cataclysmic, you have the Cataclysmic Adept, you have the Storm Chaser. So you have a situation where the Lanier's not bad, it's just the last pick on the dodgeball team. Where, like, you don't roll with want good
DPS perks. Like, Taipan, for example, it rolls with Focus Fury and Firing Line and triple tap. It's like, great, perfect. And it's got Vice Stinger.
Yeah, Vice Stinger makes it mint.
For DPS stuff. Right hook doesn't work.
Yeah, right hook doesn't work with a linear fusion rifle because right hook is a perk where it benefits off of melee damage. So it doesn't really work when it comes to a linear fusion rifle. And the machine gun has the same problem, but the problem with the machine gun is machine guns aren't viable in PvE because Bungie refuses to, like, they say they buffed them, quote unquote, but no, machine guns aren't good in PvE content right now because other than like Xenophage and Thunderlord, you're not going to see anybody take a machine gun into GMs this season. You're not going to see it. It's just a fact. Like, you might see, like, the machine gun from last season because it has adaptive munitions and demolitionist as perks, but that's it. Like,
more Quellum's Terminus would be seen more.
That's what the heck is that?
Raid.
That is the King's Fall LMG.
Oh, the King's Fall one. Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that.
Which rolls with Killing Tally.
Yeah, because Killing Tally's back on a machine gun, which will actually be kind of nutty. But, like, that, other than that, like, it's just the machine gun has the problem of it's irrelevant versus it's bad. Like because the machine gun's fine, it's a gun, but machine guns are still not in a healthy place in the meta.
And then there's the scout rifle, where it's just another scout rifle.
Well, no, I would defend the scout rifle. I would defend the scout rifle.
It's an arc scout rifle, which is nice.
Yeah, like, we don't have an arc scout rifle that's really good, but it can roll with Dragonfly, it can roll with a rapid hit, it can roll with explosive payload. It has options for endgame content. So,
right, but then there's the Doom of Kelkus, and it's just...
But see, that's a void scout rifle.
Right, but I still find that it's a little better. Yes, it's a void scout rifle, but I would rather take that because I like the perks on it.
Which is fair, but I really do think... Yeah, no, at that point, it's a personal preference.
I've only gotten one roll of the scout rifle, and it was bad, and I just haven't.
I got rapid hit Dragonfly, and it's freaking fun.
But I did get a volt shot of the pistol, and that is fun because it's a full auto pistol.
Mm-hmm. That thing is fun. That sidearm is better.
The new weapons that you like. Did you get any of the new weapons you like?
I got a sidearm that put in work, and I didn't realize how full auto it meant because...
Yeah, like, that thing is full auto.
I do like the sidearm so far. I think really that's the only thing that I've played with that I was like, yeah, I definitely need to keep this on me. I am excited to try the ritual weapon after hearing Panda talk about it.
It literally is a cannon. It's a pirate cannon grenade launcher that shoots out cannonballs, and the cannonballs have incandescent because we took it into the pirate hunter thing, and I shot it, and I shot it at the gladiators, and you just saw giant cannonball like size explosions of incandescent, and it's so much fun.
So like I'm excited to earn one of those, but As like seasonal wise for Season of the Plunder, really only the sidearm has gotten me so far.
I will say I want to get my hands on more of the. I want to craft the submachine gun.
The only other like things that have come out this season that I like the raid scout for the most part, the Doom of Chelchis, but
Doom of Kel.
and I like the sniper. Everybody seems to hate the reticle on it, but I like the sniper.
It's not the same as D1.
It looks like you're inside of an eyeball.
It's not the same.
Granted, it's a beastly sniper rifle for what people are saying. But also, here's the issue with the Season of the Plunder weapons overall. It's so hard to get red borders for them compared to other seasons. Because at least with the other seasons, there was a guaranteed way to get a red border from the kiosk, whether it be the War Table, the Crown of Sorrow, or the Star Chart. There was a way to get a red border once a week from an Umbral engram. This season with the Star Chart, there's nothing.
That's not one of the viable upgrades.
Nope, there's not. It's not one of the viable upgrades. There's a viable upgrade to get a guaranteed red border from the expedition chest, but that's it. There's nothing else. So it's very odd how they give you all these new weapons, but then nothing to incentivize you to chase the activity for Umbrals for the Umbral energy to then spend the Umbral energy at the Star Chart. It's very weird how they did that, because the issue with last season was there was just a lot of weapons to spend your once a week on. This season, it's just there's no once a week to get, and it's just what Bungie, what are you doing? And it just
I wonder if it's because it's supposed to be a longer season, right? I wonder if they're just kind of counting on the grind.
Maybe. That could totally be it, honestly.
The season's going to, I think, December 6th, December 9th, somewhere around there. So we have a few months, and then the season after that's going to from then until the end of February.
Right.
And so it's like we don't have a lot of, and here's I'm going to go on a quick little 2-second rant. Like, what are we supposed to do if people are just coming into the game and it's like, hey, you got to craft, like, the seasonal weapons go away and then you can't get them again. What are they going to do about that?
See,
like, they've integrated them into crafting. And it's like, okay, next season, I'm literally going to be doing a deep dive into every single weapon, and I'm going to make a list of every weapon I need to craft. Because if Bungie doesn't come out and say something, I want to make sure I get the weapons I want crafted first. And then I'll worry about everything else.
Because the one thing they've been doing recently to combat the whole they're not sunsetting anymore, but they want to make up for the fact that seasonal content isn't here anymore for you to get weapons, is they keep giving Xur things from Season of the Lost and Season of the Splicer, but they're not always good rolls. So, like, is that what's going to happen with these weapons when Lightfall comes out? Or is there still going to be a way to access these? Like, what could be really cool is they do a thing where you could turn in Umbral energy for, like, one of them as a red border once per week kind of thing at the kiosk, at the tower. That'd be kind of cool to do. But I don't know if they're going to do that. It feels like how Toll said, all these weapons are going to be gone soon, and everybody who just took a break or doesn't know about, like, the Leviathan weapons coming back are just out of luck.
They're missing out. They're missing out on really good weapons. Callus Mini Tool is one of the best PvE SMGs in the game right now.
Ostringer and Beloved are some of the best PvP weapons ever to come into Destiny, and they might be leaving.
I mean,
again.
Yeah, and then the Peace of Mind Pulse Rifle, one of the best pulse rifles, like, to craft. If you don't want to go grind out and get yourself a roll of another pulse rifle, you can go out and get yourself a Peace of Mind and just have a steady pulse rifle.
Yeah. So that's kind of my big concern there. Yeah, is like, because that's what happened with Season of the Splicer, Season of the Hunt, the Lost. and Chosen is that all these, like, because there's still things like Code Duello, the SMG from Season of the Chosen, there was the Lanier from Season of the Chosen. That Lanier is still really good if you don't have one of the other good Laniers, because it's a void Lanier and it's really powerful for endgame content. So that's just gone. Like, all of the Season of the Splicer weapons that randomly got a buff because you have Grid Skipper that is actually more meta now than it was back then. You have Sojourner's Tale that started to be more viable once slug shotguns or the shotgun pick when pellet shotguns got a nerf. The sidearm Farewell saw some more action for people who had it once sidearms became more viable. So it's like Bungie keeps doing this thing where they rotate weapons out, but then make them viable, and then no one has them, like Hung Jury recently. And it's just, what are you doing?
I want to talk about Hung Jury.
I need to make, if we ever do merch, I need a shirt that just says, what are you doing, Bungie?
Again, I'm the bad person here, where I don't think it's a problem because it plays into FOMO. Like, you have to be here to earn the thing. You have to be here to get the thing. You have to play the game to get the thing. It's not their job to make sure that everybody who's missed content gets stuff. And I know, Panda, you might have a problem with that because you came back during, was the Season of the Rivals? That's what it was.
Season of Rivals.
Like, so there was all that stuff that you missed. If they really want to do it, they could do it where they bring things back either through the Eververse store, or I play a separate game on my phone that is it's card based, and every once in a while they'll bring back the chance to get old cards. So they could do it something like that, where not necessarily like a gotcha or like a loot box thing, but they could do random events where they bring back all old weapons for people to get them again. But I don't really have a problem with weapons leaving every season because I'm a hoarder and I have a stupid, like, my vault is always full. Always.
Well, and my counter to that is going to be, like, I kind of agree with you a little bit about the FOMO, but the idea of, like, pop-up events for weapons coming back would be kind of cool. But the counter to that is, what's going to happen here soon where we have so many craftable weapons and then you don't have any more vault space. And it's like, you have literally curated god rolls from crafted weapons from chasing the FOMO, and then there's not enough vault space. Bungie can make more vault space. They just did that. We don't know when that's ever going to happen again. So it's like, there's also this issue of burnout. There's burnout. There's people who just don't think the story's too hot right now. There's interest in other games. So I think there's a problem with the FOMO a little bit, where we just need more things like Dares of Eternity, where you can chase older guns on a rotation,
or like is that,
or at least there needs to be a right. Like, that was a great idea where they said, "Hey, we're gonna take the old loot out of Prophecy and put the Trials of the Nine weapons back in. We need more dungeons to bring back old weapons." Like, that would be a great idea, or at least make it so there's an actual rotating loot table for Dares of Eternity, or even bring back Menagerie at the Leviathan, or bring back or leave the pirate event sort of thing, or do more Menagerie-esque things to be pop-up things for loot tables. That way people can access that content. Or better yet, we have a Legends tab that has 3 things in it: Prophecy Dungeon, Vault of Glass, and Kingsfall. Put all the crap from the seasonal content in the Legends tab and make it accessible for people. Like, if Bungie was really smart and they wanted to keep making money off of people, you say, hey, everything from Shadowkeep forward, since we're not sunsetting content anymore, if you want to buy seasonal keys from that content and then play that season over in the Legends tab and get those guns, great. You can buy a season key from past seasons because then I could go back and get the Season of the Dawn stuff that I missed. People could go back and get the Season of Arrival weapons and get things like Gnawing Hunger and Falling Guillotine and stuff like that. It's not in the game anymore. Like,
so much.
Like, that would be a great thing to do. Like, you could have so much drive towards that.
That,
like,
or just
the
let us
Bungie,
buy
you
previous
can,
season pass armor.
or like just put the season pass armor in the Eververse store. But like, there you go, Bungie. You can have that one for free. Previous seasonal keys. Just give that, like, do that, and don't, and like, if you're worried about like engrams and stuff like that being accessible as like, just make it like, make it umbrals.
You can't do the Season of Dawn stuff because parts of that got sunset.
So. No, I'm being dead ass. Like, everything from if they're saying everything from Shadowkeep forward is no longer going to be put into the DCV, the Destiny Content Vault. So they put back the Moon guns, they put back the Dreaming City guns. There should be no reason why you can't have a Season of the Dawn key, a Season of Arrivals key. What was the season for the Rasputin? I forget what it was called.
Nobody wants that season back.
Well, it's still relevant to the season key theory. Like, do those as keys. Do Hunt, because there's still like Deafening Whisper is the void waveframe grenade launcher that nobody can get anymore. Royal Chase is a full auto void scout rifle that nobody can get anymore. Like, there's things from Season of the Hunt that people would love to do that like see the origins of the crew
they would have to bring
coming
back.
That'd be great for people like. Oh yeah, you're right.
But on your whole seasonal key thing, another thing they could do, and I know that you'll be like, oh, but they'll be reusing resources, or reusing assets. So back in the day, in year one, there was a weekly thing for Cade's caches, and you would just go search the map and find treasure boxes. There's no reason they couldn't bring something back like that, and you could have a chance to get a random roll at a cast weapon.
Yeah. That'd be great. Like, just like more, like, straight up, yo, here's what you do. And especially if you don't, especially for Season of the Dawn, as an easy way to say, like, you can't bring back Mercury, make portals on Nessus. Because there's Vex tech on Nessus that lets you go back into the Infinite Forest. And there's your gateway to access Season of the Dawn content. Have it be a locked puzzle that someone has to figure out in the Raid Secrets subreddit. And be like, that's your seasonal key unlocked for Season of the Dawn. Or other Vex-themed seasons.
You realize New Lights have no idea what the Infinite Forest is?
Oh my god.
Just saying.
Oh my god.
You're gonna throw these New Lights in there and have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Oh, that just hurt my brain at the idea that people don't know what the Infinite Forest is. Oh my god. But you know, I feel old. But no, so like there you go, buddy. That's the Cosmodrome Radio free idea of the week. Seasonal pass keys for $20. There you go. That's what you get, or like $40, whatever. I don't care. Just do it. Like, there you go, right there.
The Infinite what?
Toll, I will kill you. But yeah, no. So overall, with Season of Plunder, I'm liking the story. Yes. Spider's a dick, but we knew that. There's a lore issue that Bungie totally didn't even realize they did, because the Guardian Games lore book said that Spider was already in the Elixir Quarter. And now they're like, oh, now he has to go into the Elixir Quarter in game. And I'm like, kind of messed up there, Bungie. Because you're telling me Drifter just left this man's on Europa for a couple seasons? That don't sound right.
Well, no, it said that Spider was trying to sneak away and hit himself. And then his little cargo thing got intercepted by Aramis's forces. And that's how he ended up on Europa.
That's right. Okay, so like, but it just seems weird that he was already in the last city during Guardian games, taking bets on who would win the Guardian games, and now they're like, now we got to put them back. It just feels weird. It'd have been a cool reveal if the Guardian found out I've been here the whole time. Guardian.
My hunter would have been like, I knew my trigger finger felt itchy. Like, God, I hate him so much.
Also, Ido is precious. We love Ido. We stand Ido in this house. Like she is the best bean.
Mithrax, stop being an overprotective father and let her come on pirate adventures.
Hey man, Mithrax is hiding some shit, and I'm excited to see what it is. But like, Bungie is really
stop teasing us.
Like they're teasing it really bad too. Like
they're like, old insurance commercials. I got $1. Oh, you almost got it.
Gotta be
sitting out there with the fishing line and the $1, and that's just us with like Mithrax lore, and it's just
because like last week. Yeah, because like last week when there was Season of the Haunted, it kind of made sense that like, oh, they're dealing with trauma. It takes like multiple weeks to get through your trauma. That made sense. Your padding made sense back then, Bungie. But now it's just there's only so many times that Mithrax can threaten Spider before we want to kill Spider. Well, we already want to kill Spider, but like the point still stands. Like there's only so many times Mithrax can threaten Spider before Mithrax is gonna just shake Spider.
He threatened to dock his tongue. Come on. Week. The whole thing is and. Docking of the arms is a huge bad thing in Eliksni culture, but the whole thing is that Ido is trying to do her job as a scribe, and she is the young, innocent, naive being. She is being used as a pawn. She's being used as a pawn against Mithrax by Spider. Spider's literally just manipulating it, and he's trying to breed kind of this unrest between them. Mithrax knows who Spider is from their past, which I have not watched the data mined video because I don't want to know. So Mithrax knows that what Spider can do or what Spider has done, that their past. He's trying to protect her. And I know he's coming off as the overprotective dad, but it's you gotta look at it kind of like as a fly on the wall. Like Ido doesn't know that. She just sees him, threatening someone who is, trying to help them. And it's just like a whole manipulative fucking thing. But there is lore on one of the weapons from last season that actually talks about when Mithrax was near the Leviathan and he was starting to see nightmares, like how he was hearing whispers and seeing specters, and he's done some shit. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I didn't read that. Yeah. And we'll probably talk about it in a later episode because we want to wait and see if the theories are correct. But those relics, they're looking kind of suspicious, especially after the audio log with Drifter and Eris this week. But so we'll come back to that. But overall, I'm liking the season. I just need more of the season, and for Bungie to stop like dangling the dollar, as Toll said. How y'all feeling?
It's just like I get. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Come back to me.
Oh, I like the season. I'm super pro Eliksni seasons. I think Catch Crash is amazing. It's super fun, very reminiscent of Menagerie. We don't get a lot of 6-man activities outside of raids or like Iron Banner or Control, so I really enjoy Catch Crash. It reminds me of the kind of fun that I used to have playing Menagerie. I like the expeditions, but not a lot of people know that you kind of have to run the timer for the ruffians. As Toll.
Yeah.
Yes, as Toll told
Thank
us.
You read it.
Yeah, I just like all the exposure to the Eliksni. I love learning about their culture. I love seeing them in practice. I fucking hate Spider. I love Mithrax. I love being back in the Eliksni quarter.
No. You can't just gloss over that.
Oh my god! Shut your face.
Okay, I like mommy sob, so.
Anyways, I like being back in the Eliksni quarter because Scourge of the Past was my jam, and the Kel Scourge robot is there. I don't like that they put up all those structures in the middle of it and cut off the map because I'm like, no, just let me go run around. You took the raid from me.
I like the battle bus.
See, I'm not big on Fortnite, so I don't really care for the battle bus, but that's just me.
If you just come play with us, you understand.
I just like that
I have the
they
emote.
put
I
it
can go
in
sit
there.
with all the Elixni moms now.
It's
I
very
forgot
cool.
about that.
Oh.
So, how you feel about the season?
Honestly, I love Catch Crash. I want to play it more. I just got no one to play it with, and I want to play it on Master. Because when you play it on Master and you go play normal Catch Crash, it's just this isn't the same.
Yeah, that's fair. It's more exhilarating on Master, like because you feel like you're getting your butt handed to you.
I feel like you actually have to try and invade a pirate ship. Like it feels good.
They cranked the difficulty up, and it feels like a real fight instead of you just breezing through it.
Density is perfect. And then Expedition just feels like a slogfest half the time, where it's just kill, add, wait. Like you can obviously speed through it, but if you're going for the seasonal seal, like I want to because I'm a completionist.
And also, the title is freaking Scallywag.
That too, but if you want to get the 50 ruffian kills, which are unstoppable champions, by the way, you have to wait. The minute you turn on the drill, you have to wait about 3 minutes for one to spawn, and then you have a 50% chance to get a second one to spawn. So you can have up to a total of 4, but you're guaranteed 2 every match. So that means minimum you'd have to play 25 matches, 25 expeditions.
Yeah. So we definitely are digging the season. We're excited about new lore, and we definitely will be tuning in each week to talk more about the lore as it continues. But yeah,
one thing I want to say is I like that they're going into this full pirate theme. Like you got the Unstoppable Ruffians. The first week you had I, the Heavy Shank.
Oh my god!
I like that they're playing into the pirate theme, and I'm sitting here like, can you give us more like champions? Would be fun if they're like named, like the Ruffians, where it's like if they're champions in content, but they're like named after they're specifically like lore named for stuff that's going on within the season.
Yeah, because like especially for Season of the Spicer, they just had champions in the data network. Like you could have called them viruses, and you did. It was very lacking. But so we're definitely excited about the season, and we will definitely be talking about more as time goes on. So get ready for that. Don't forget, folks, that you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, all those great places. You can rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That way you can like help people find us better. And you can follow us on Twitter. That way you can like talk to us, chat with us. We retweet the TWAB every time it comes out. So make sure that you tune in for that. And we like interact with the community because we love talking to people about the game. So look out for that. Ask us questions if you need to know something about the game. Holla at us. We are here to help you. If you ever need people to raid with, our clan is open and for anybody to join. So make sure that you check us out. And we just here to enjoy the game. So just get used to us being here on all frequencies because we love doing it. Priz, do you have a final thought before we head out?
Not really a final thought. I just wanted to give a shout out to the people on TikTok. I recently started pulling clips from my PlayStation and uploading them on TikTok, and people seem to really like them. Or they give me a pity like, I'm not really sure. But there are people that have left comments, and I try to interact with everybody that talks to me, and it's opened me up to a lot of other Destiny content creators who will just shoot the shit and just comment back and forth. Like there was one person that posted a video that was just their fire team dying and doing stupid shit, and all like we were just talking about like I love my fire team. It was like, dude, me too, that's why I've got a tattoo like of their favorite ghosts, and like the game would be boring without your best friends playing. So like, just a shout out to all the people that are actually engaging with me on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Toll, do you have a final thought?
Excellent. Love that. Yeah.
Thunder Crash works. It's very fun.
I don't even know about that one at this point. My final thought would definitely be Bungie, make Iron Banner more important than Trials. I will die on that hill because Iron Banner is a tradition that will never die. And it has been here since the beginning. So put more respect on my boy Saladin's name. Radagast didn't die for nothing, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. So we will catch you folks next week here at Cosmodrome Radio. We will catch you Starside. Peace out.
See you later, alligator.